Hello friends, welcome to this CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, as you know that we are carrying a series on marketing management, and as you know that from time to time we have conducted a numerous session under this very series that is on marketing management. We try to understand about the various aspects of marketing management, right from the concept of marketing till the point to the management. Dear friends, today also we are going to talk on one of the most important aspects of marketing management, that is marketing channel. Now we are curious to know that what a marketing channel is. Definitely we are going to understand this very concept, but I would like to tell you all that through this session we are going to get deep insight into how the product reaches from manufacturer to the customer. This is a question which we are going to resolve in this very session, and for resolving this very question we have again with us in our studios Dr. Subhash Kakkar. Dr. Subhash Kakkar is an eminent academician who visits various universities and colleges where he exchanges knowledge, delivers lectures with the help of which the students get acquainted with various aspects of the different subjects, different topics. So without wasting any time, I would like to welcome our guest, Dr. Subhash Kakkar. Dr. Kakkar, welcome to the EduSet lecture.
Thank you and welcome viewers to today's lecture. Today's lecture is on marketing channel. It is part of the series of our lectures on marketing management as a subject. A number of lectures have already been delivered on the subject marketing management, and today we will discuss marketing channel. It is an important topic in the subject marketing management. On one side we have a manufacturer. We see that the manufacturer is able to produce the product at a minimum cost. Now we want to satisfy the customer with the product. How the product reaches the customer or the consumer, we are going to discuss it today. And today we will devote purely fundamental concepts on marketing channel, and in subsequent lecture we will discuss the emerging trends in marketing channels. Marketing channel is nothing but the distribution channel, and it is also named as distribution channel. So today we will discuss marketing channel and we will see how the consumers get the products from the manufacturer. A marketing channel is a set of practices or activities necessary to transfer the ownership of goods from the point of production to the point of consumption. Here we are discussing 2 points. One point is the point of manufacture and the other point is point of consumption, and consumption is carried out by consumers or the customers, and the production is carried out by the manufacturers. And we are discussing to transfer the ownership of the product to the consumer so that he gets fullest satisfaction, and there are certain things to be seen while transferring the ownership of the product from the manufacturer to the consumer. And these things which we want to see and efficiently handle this process cover the time taken by the manufacturer to provide the product to the consumer must be minimum time, and during the transfer of the product should not get dismantled or should not get damaged. The entire quality of the product remains the same, and we have to see with respect to perishable goods also, because the perishable goods while transporting get spoiled, and we have to take care of all those things which make them spoil. So this is part of the channel management which take care of product deterioration during the transportation process, and the time taken by the transportation process should be minimum, and when the customer or the consumer require the product, it should be made available to him. So we will see how these channels work in detail, and today we will devote only to the fundamentals of marketing channel. We will see the traditional methods involved in marketing channel and how the things move on to other advanced stages. It is the way products and services get to the end user, the consumer, and is also known as a distribution channel. A marketing channel is a useful tool for management and is crucial creating an effective and well-planned marketing strategy. Taking a decision on marketing channel or the distribution channel is a part of marketing strategy. Marketing strategy is planned before starting the distribution of the product. So, the distribution channel is part of the main marketing strategy. Another less known form of the marketing channel is the distribution channel. This channel is a less traditional form that allows the manufacturer or wholesaler to reach the end user by using more than one distribution channel also. So, dual distribution involves more than one channel and it is less traditional in the process. Sometimes we make use of more channels than one channel and then it is called the dual distribution channel. Roles of marketing channel in marketing strategies. Now, we will discuss the importance of the distribution channels in the marketing strategy part. What are the important benefits we get from the marketing channel? We are going to discuss right now. It links producers to buyers. Manufacturers are connected with the consumers through the channel. It influences the firm's pricing strategy, affecting product strategy through branding, policies, willingness to stock, customizes profits, install, maintain, offer credit, etc. These are all marketing channel roles which are played by marketing channel or distribution channel in the marketing strategy. The producer can simultaneously reach the consumer through a direct market such as a website or sell to another company or retailer that will reach the consumer through another channel, that is a store. An example of this type of channel would be franchising. A franchisee is there which takes care of providing the product to the consumer. Types of marketing channels. There are 4 main types of marketing channels and we are going to discuss them right now. The first one is product moves from producer to the consumer, or the product moves from producer to the customer. The producer sells the goods or provides a service directly to the consumer with no involvement with a middleman such as an intermediary, a wholesaler, a retailer, an agent or a reseller. In this type of marketing channel, the consumer gets the product directly from the manufacturer. Nobody is involved in between the process. Customer or the consumer is directly in touch with the manufacturer. The consumer goes directly to the producer to buy the product without going through any other channel, and this type of marketing is most beneficial to farmers. Direct involvement of the customer saves time, saves money, and these type of channels are used in agricultural products when the farmer and the customer is directly involved. Next is the producer, the manufacturer, retailer and the customer. The product moves from the manufacturer to the retailer and then it moves to the consumer. There is one more channel between the earlier channel, which is the retailer right now. Retailers buy the product from the manufacturer and sell them directly to the consumer. This channel works best for manufacturers that produce shopping goods like clothes, shoes, furniture, tableware and toys, etc. There are so many goods, almost 70-80% of the goods are sold to the consumers through the retailers. So, this is another channel when the retailer gets involved in between the producer and the customer. Producer sells a product to the retailer, retailer sells a product to the consumer. Since consumers need more time with these items before they decide to purchase them, it is in the best interest of the manufacturer to sell them to another user before it gets into the hand of the consumers. Here in this case, when retailer is introduced between producer and the customer, the retailer acts like a buffer. It stocks the items which can finally be used by the customers. Retailer will provide the product to the customer even if the producer has stopped manufacturing the product, because due to earlier production, the quantity has been stocked by the retailer and the retailer is finally providing the product to the customer even if the manufacturer has stopped the production of that particular product. So, retailer acts like a buffer. It is also a good strategy to use another dealer to get the product to the end user. If the producer needs to get to the market more quickly by using an established network that already has brand loyalty. If the brand loyalty is already available with the retailer, then it becomes an effective channel for providing the product to the customer, because already brand loyalty has been built by the retailer. Now, the third model of the channel is producer, wholesaler or the distributor and the customer. In this case, we have wholesaler or the distributor in between producer and customer. Wholesalers buy the products from the manufacturer and sell them to the consumer. In this channel, consumers can buy products directly from the wholesaler in bulk. Wholesaler buys the product in bulk from the manufacturer and then finally sells the products to the consumers. So, this is another model of marketing channel. By buying the items in bulk from the wholesaler, the prices of the product are reduced. This is because the wholesaler takes away extra costs such as service costs or sales force costs that customers usually pay when buying from retail, making the price much cheaper for the consumer. When we are operating on a larger scale, wholesalers are buying the product in bulk and thus reducing the cost of selling, and the benefit is passed on to the consumers as the prices get reduced because of the wholesalers in between the manufacturer and the customer. However, The wholesaler does not always sell directly to the consumer. Sometimes a wholesaler will go through a retailer before the product gets into the hands of the consumer. There is a small variation in the earlier model. Here in this model, wholesaler is not directly selling the product to the consumer. Here, a retailer also comes into the picture. Wholesaler buys the product from the manufacturer, sells it to the retailer, and the retailer finally sells the product to the consumer. Each dealer, the manufacturer, the wholesaler, and the retailer will be looking to make a decent profit margin from the product. So, each time the buyer purchases the merchandise from another source, the price of the product has to increase in order to maximize the profit each person will receive. This raises the price of the product for the end user. In this concept, a more reliable concept emerges, and that concept is when the product moves from one hand to another hand, its price increases because each hand requires its own share of profit. Each one wants to maximize the profit as far as possible. When such is the aim of increasing the profit, and every hand the profit has to be increased or profit has to be added, even if it is less profit, but some amount of profit is to be added. But finally, when the consumer gets the product, the price becomes very high because the profit addition is at every stage. So, this increases the price of the product when it is handled to different hands in the marketing channel. Now, another model of marketing channel is producer, agent oblique broker, wholesaler or retailer, and then customer. And this distribution channel involves more than one intermediary before the product gets into the hands of the consumer. This middleman, known as the agent, assists with the negotiation between the manufacturer and the seller. Each time product gets transferred from one hand to the another, an agent helps in negotiations, and then finally a deal is made with the help of the agent. Agent is a person who does not keep the product with himself. Rather, he never touches the product. He is just helping in negotiations so the deal is made. When the deal is made, the movement of the product starts, and from the manufacturer to the customer, the product reaches via agent or broker, wholesaler or retailer. Agents come into play when the producers need to get their product into the market as quickly as possible. This happens mostly when the item is perishable and has to get the market fresh before it starts to rot. Agents never touch the product. They don't come into the contact of any product. They just help in negotiations and they help in making the deal. At times, the agents will directly go to the retailer with the goods or take an alternate route through the wholesaler, who will go to a retailer and then finally to the customer. So, this is a process. Producer provides a product to the wholesaler or retailer with the help of an agent or a broker, and the wholesaler or the retailer finally provides the product to the customer for its own use. Channel marketing. Channel marketing, brands involved in selling through marketing channels, also commonly known as distribution channels, have relationships with the channel partners, local sellers, retailers, field agents, etc. And these resellers or the local resellers, retailers, wholesalers, etc. are called channel partners, and they are also field agents that sell their products or services to the end customer. The channel marketing is brands involved in the selling through marketing channels, also commonly known as distribution channels, have relationships with the channel partners, local sellers, retailers, and field agents that sell their products or services to the end user. Brands that aim to maximize sales through channel partners provide them with advertising and promotional support that is pre-configured, often subsidized by the brand. And these promotional activities, advertising activities, are done by the organization itself to help the retailers, wholesalers to sell their products to the customers. And sometimes the wholesalers and retailers do the advertising on behalf of the organization, on behalf of the brand itself, and that is done on a subsidized rates. Coordinated channel marketing. Brands carry out online and offline advertising on behalf of channel partners to aid them in generating sales of their branded products. Those online and offline marketing initiatives can either be isolated or coordinated to inform one another. Here we are discussing two modes of advertising. One is online, other is offline, which is done by the channel partners. And basic control is with the organization itself. When this is done, it is coordinated and information is passed on to one another. An example of this particular marketing channel is apple orchard. There is an apple orchard, and from apple orchard through transport it moves on to processing factory, then packaging and final product to be sold, and apple pie is eaten. So this is one example one can have. An alternative term is distribution channel. Route to market. Distribution channel is, the meaning is route to market. It is a path or pipeline through which goods and services flow in one direction from vendor to the consumer, and the payments generated by them flow in opposite direction from consumer to the vendor. In the marketing channel, product is moving from manufacturer to the consumer. On the other hand, money is moving from the consumer to the manufacturer. And this distribution channel, another name is route to market or a path which is used for transportation of the product from the manufacturer to the customer. A marketing channel can be as short as being direct from the vendor to the consumer. The shortest possible channel is from the vendor to the consumer, from the manufacturer to the customer, or may include several interconnected, usually independent but mutually dependent intermediaries such as wholesalers, distributors, agents, retailers. Each intermediary receives the item at one pricing point and moves it to the next higher pricing point until it reaches the final buyer. As we have discussed in the marketing channel, through different points, like from manufacturer to the wholesaler or the retailer via an agent, the product reaches a customer. The price of the product increases at every step because every person wants his share of business. When he gets his share of business, it adds price to the product or the service being discussed or being provided. Agent gets its commission, wholesaler gets his share of profit, retailer gets its own share of profit, and finally the customer gets the product at a higher price. So, marketing channel can be long term or short term. It can be long term or short term. Short term channels are influenced by market factors such as business users, geographically concentrated, extensive technical knowledge and regular servicing required, and large orders. Short term product are influenced by factors such as perishable, complex and expensive. Short term producer factors include whether the manufacturer has adequate resources to perform channel functions, broad product line and channel control is important. Short term competition and the competitive factors include manufacturing feels satisfied with marketing intermediaries, performance in promoting products. Long term market factors include consumers, geographically dispersed, little technical knowledge and regular servicing is not required, and small orders. Product factors for long term marketing channels are durable, standardized and inexpensive. As we already discussed, the short term, the products are perishable and the products are very expensive, and these are non-standard products. But on the other hand, in long term, these are durable and standardized and inexpensive. Producer factors are manufacturer lacks adequate resources to perform the channel functions, limited product line and channel control not important. The competitive factors are manufacturer feels dissatisfied with marketing intermediaries, performance in promoting products. Now, we will discuss marketing channels add value. Factors that can affect customers' perception of a product or service offering include. Now, we will discuss and we will emphasize the fact that marketing channels add value. How these add value, we are going to discuss right now. The consumer services offered, information or advice, the attitude of sales personnel and the availability of a credit, the convenience of the outlet in terms of opening times and location, the depth and assortment of an offered stock, and this is through wholesalers and retailers. All these factors above are provided and controlled by the middleman. Intermediaries and are critical in adding value to the basic product. Types of middlemen. Now we will discuss the different types of middlemen available in the marketing channel, and they are part of the marketing strategy. They help us in getting our objectives achieved. There are a number of different types of middlemen acting in marketing channels. There are important differences between the most common intermediaries. Agents as the middleman, part of the channel. Agents do not take ownership or physical possession of the products they represent. They act on a producer's behalf and take a commission on any sales they negotiate with a third party. They just help in getting the deal made. They don't possess any product, they don't keep any product, they just help in making the deal happen between the two parties, rather first and third party, second party being the agent himself. Producers' agents. Producers' agents tend to work for a bigger amount of different producers and with non-competitive or complementary products in a specific geographic area. They are normally involved in delivering the sales function. Producers' agents are part of the marketing channel. They handle more than one product of different manufacturers. And the point to be remembered, they don't handle the competitor's product or they don't handle the complementary products. They handle a different variety of products and they are helping as producers' agents. Sales agents. Sales agents usually deal with one producer and have to deliver a full range of marketing activities for this concrete client, creating distribution, pricing, and promotional policies. Sales agents are specific to one organization and they help the organization in selling their products. They don't involve other organizations. They are there for one single organization and they help the organization in selling their products. They also help in making the marketing channel. They also help in taking a decision on pricing. They also help in taking decision on promotional activities like advertising, etc. These agents are commonly used by small companies with limited resources or by producers that are moving into an unknown market, especially which is located overseas. Here the sales agent can provide essential local knowledge. Sales agents stay all over the world and they help the organization to sell their products in foreign countries because in foreign countries these sales agents are available and they help the organizations in selling their product because they have a specific knowledge regarding that particular area or the country and the tastes and the government policies of that particular country. They help the other countries and the manufacturers located in other countries to sell their products in their own country. Now, brokers. Brokers strive to bring potential buyers and sellers together by negotiating specific contracts. They are supposed to not have long-term relationship. Brokers, like agents, do not take ownership nor do they physically handle the product and they act on a commission basis. Wholesalers. The wholesalers, on the contrary, take title to the goods they handle and are involved in the physical distribution of those products. They stock the products in their warehouses also. They are physically in touch with the product, where the brokers they are not in touch with the product, they take the commission and the manufacturer transfers the product to the next purchaser. They sell mostly to other middlemen or directly to industrial, commercial or institutional customers rather than individual consumers. There are two types of wholesalers: full service wholesalers and limited service wholesalers. The first ones offer a broad range of marketing activities for their suppliers and customers: purchasing, sales, warehousing and transportation of goods. The later ones cut out non-essential services and as a result are able to offer cost savings to customers. Here we have discussed two types of wholesalers. Retailers. Retailers sell goods and services directly to the end consumer. The retailers take title to the goods they stock. Channel design. Channel design is a dynamic process of developing new channels where non-existing and modifying existing channels. The business marketer usually deals with modification of existing channels, although new products and customer segments may require entirely new channels. So, we are particularly interested in the channel design. Channel design is best conceptualized as a series of stages that the business marketing manager must complete to be sure that all the important channel dimensions have been evaluated. So, channel and its dimensions in all aspects, because the channel is multidimensional and each and every dimension of the channel is to be evaluated while designing a particular channel. The result of the process is to specify the structure that provides the highest probability of achieving the firm's objectives. The channel structure refers to the underlying framework, and that framework is the number of channel levels, the number and types of intermediaries, and the linkages among channel members. Stage 1, channel objectives. Business firms formulate their marketing strategies to appeal to selected market segments, to earn targeted level of profits, to maintain or increase sales and market share growth rates, and to achieve all this within specified resource constraints. Resources can be in the form of time, resources can be in the form of funds also. Under this stage, it is a reason why whether the business marketer is designing a totally new channel or redesigning the existing one. The first step of channel design is to comprehend fully the marketing goals and to formulate corresponding objectives. Now, the stage 2, channel design constraints. Frequently, the manager has little flexibility in the selection of channel structures because of trade, competitive, company and environmental factors. The variety of constraining factors is almost limitless. The most relevant to the business marketer are the following, and these are availability of good intermediaries. Competitors often lock up the better intermediaries. Established intermediaries are not always receptive to new products, traditional channel patterns, and the line. Established patterns of distribution are difficult to violate. Large customers may demand direct sales. Product characteristic, technical complexity dictates direct distribution. Extensive repair requirement may call for local distributors to service the product. Here the technical background of the product also influences the marketing channel. We will have to have distributors if the product requires lot of service or the repair work, because unless we have the local distributors and this part of the product requirement cannot be satisfied unless we have local distributors to handle repair work or the service of the product. Company financial resources. Capital requirements often preclude direct distribution. Competitive strategies. Direct service by competitors may force all firms to sell direct. Geographic dispersion of customers. A widely dispersed market of small customers often requires low cost representation afforded by intermediaries. Stage 3, pervasive channel tasks. Under this stage, the business marketing manager must creatively structure the tasks necessary to meet customer requirements and company goals rather than merely accepting existing channel structures or traditional distribution patterns. Under this stage, the business marketing manager has to do a challenging job. He may not like to depend on the traditional available methods. He may have to improve the existing methods and the channel and its links so that he is able to provide satisfaction to the fullest extent to the consumers or the customers. He takes a decision on his own, looking into the problems faced by the consumer or the customers. He may like to add more distributors to satisfy the customers. So, increasing manufacturer power may diminish the distributor's role in the channel as the manufacturer assumes more channel activities. The distributor's share of profits and revenues could be reduced accordingly. Under this, the manufacturer is taking the responsibility which was earlier being handled by the distributor. Lot of jobs which are handled by the distributor, manufacturer takes on his own. So, the contribution of the distributor reduces. So, his share of the profit also gets reduced, and then finally, the price of the product gets reduced. Stage 4, channel alternatives. There are 4 primary issues in specification of channel alternatives. The number of levels in the channel, that is the degree of directness, the types of intermediaries to use. How big is the channel? How many levels are available in the channel, which is also known as the degree of directness. Degree of directness means how directly the customer or the consumer is attached to the manufacturer. If there are so many links, then directness is reduced. If the links are minimum, even then the customer is getting the product from the manufacturer without any problem, and then this type of marketing channel is preferred because the degree of directness is more. Customers are directly connected to the manufacturer. The number of channel intermediaries at each level of the channel. How many intermediaries are involved in making the channel a success, and these are counted at different levels of the marketing channel. Of course, these are added to make the channel efficient, but at the same time we have to see that it does not add cost to the process. If the cost is added, the purpose is defeated. The number of channels to use in providing the product to the customer, how many channels are being used, that is also important because each channel adds cost to the product price. The decisions made for each are predicated on the objectives, constraints, and activities previously analyzed. Stage 5, channel selection. Now it is the choice of the business marketing manager to decide about the channel and its selection. Most channel design decisions are only slight modifications of the channel structure in the response to changing markets, expanding geographic coverage, new customer requirements or new products. Selection of the appropriate modification in channel structure may be fairly straightforward. Everything is dynamic. It is changing all the time. Customer requirements are changing. Product features are changing. So, our channels must also change. How quick we are in changing the channel links so that our customers are satisfied to the fullest extent. The focus on their approach is to create an ideal channel system that fully addresses customer needs. Once the system is specified, it is compared with a feasible channel system created on the basis of management objectives and the constraints. Here, when the things are changing and it is dynamic in nature, customer requirements are changing, customer demands are changing, customer needs are changing. Looking at these needs, requirements, wants of the customer, on one side we have an ideal marketing channel which can be thought of, but on the other side we have a feasible marketing channel, and that physical marketing channel depends solely on the resources available in the organization, because arranging new resources will add costs to the channel process, and finally the cost of the product, price of the product will change, which we do not want. Ideal versus feasible marketing channel, and the gap between the two should be as minimum as possible, and we keep trying reducing this gap always. The crucial element is to compare both systems on the basis of customer service, performance, structure and costs. Channel selection is facilitated by looking at gaps that may exist between the systems existing, ideal and feasible. One of the three conclusions could emerge. We will discuss right now, but Here we are discussing again, we have existing system, we have ideal system, and then we have feasible system also. These three systems can be thought of before introducing any particular modification in the channel. But there will be gaps in feasible and the ideal system, existing and the ideal system. But we must try to reduce these gaps with minimum cost so that we approach the ideal marketing channel system to satisfy the customers fully. All three systems resemble each other. In this case, the existing system is about as good as it can be. Existing and feasible systems are similar but differ from the ideal. Management constraints and objectives may be causing the gap. Again, the same thing we are discussing and putting an emphasis on this, that we have existing system, we have an ideal system, there is a gap, and this gap depends upon the business policies, available resources, and then the constraints under which the company is working. But we must try to reduce the gap as far as possible. All three systems are different. If the feasible system lies between the ideal and existing system, can be changed without sacrificing management goals and without using extra resources and taking care of constraints. The channel decision maker must consider qualitative as well as quantitative factors. Given two channels with the similar economic performance, the critical factor may be the degree of control the business marketer can exercise over the channel. Here, two alternative marketing channels are available. We have to look into the quantitative as well as qualitative aspect of both the marketing channels. If the qualitative and the quantitative aspects of the two marketing channels are same, then the decision becomes difficult. Then the decision factor is how easy controls are there on any marketing channel. If we have better controls on one marketing channel, then we will go for that marketing channel, even if we have qualitative and the quantitative aspects of these two channels same. So, we will look into the controls available in the marketing channel and how easy these controls are, how flexible the marketing channel is. Channel administration, selection of channel members, the process of searching for and choosing the intermediaries is an ongoing process due to the fact that they tend to leave the channel from time to time, basing on different circumstances, markets changes, problem within their business, etc. Thus, the process of choosing intermediaries should be very well managed in order not to reduce the cost of search to the minimum. The most important step to be made in order to fulfill the goal is to secure good intermediaries. Here we are discussing the importance of intermediaries, and these are channel partners having a common goal. When the common goal is to be achieved, then the contribution of these intermediaries becomes very important. When these are handling the important things of the organization, then their selection must also be given due importance. Intermediaries must be selected logically and judicially so that we get the best intermediaries to handle the marketing channel. The list of probable intermediaries can be reduced to a few by getting the information about the candidates from different sources. Current partners, salespeople, potential and actual clients through databases and professional communities. Nevertheless, it should be remembered that the process of choosing the intermediaries is not a one-way street, and this street is not at all. Thus, the company should bother about its reputation if it wants to have the opportunity to choose the best intermediaries. Motivating channel members. When we have marketing channel, we have to motivate all its links, all its intermediaries. If the company wants to build strong and beneficial relationships within its marketing channels, the company's strategies should be tied up to the capabilities and aims of its distributors, representatives, suppliers. The company's managers should constantly remind themselves that the intermediaries are independent and profit oriented, and thus, as soon as they are not satisfied with the current state of affairs, they will leave the marketing channel. Here we want our intermediaries must be motivated all the times. If at any stage demotivation comes into their working, they should be removed from the scene so that we have only motivated people in our marketing channel. Only through motivated people we can achieve the results and the goals. The manufacturer should seek support from its intermediaries, and the quality of that support depends on the motivational techniques used. Partnership. Now we are discussing the techniques. The motivation of the channel members starts with the realization that every relationship within the channel is a partnership. The communication can be improved by product training, recognition programs, consultations with the manufacturer's representatives, and informational meetings where the plans and strategies will be discussed in detail. The goal of joining the plans and strategy should be prioritized. So today, viewers, we discussed fundamentals of marketing channel. We discussed traditional methods of marketing channel, and we saw there are so many things which help in providing the product from the manufacturer to the customer. Unless we take care of these links and keep them motivated, our purpose will not be solved. So we should help in motivating these peoples. The moment we feel that these links are not motivated, we must remove them from the process and keep only motivated links in the process so that products are delivered to the customer and the customers are satisfied to the fullest extent. Thank you so much.
With this note, thank you, sir. Thank you so very much for giving us a productive session once again. And dear friends, we would be meeting again very soon and would be discussing on one another topic under the series Marketing Management. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.